Kia ora koutou PSA members, Atheling Rose Toku Ingoa, convener of the PSA lead team for MSD. Joining me presenting today is
Lauren Harrigan, PSA organiser based in Wellington.
Welcome to the PSA Pay and Progression Proposal, a presentation to PSA members in MSD for February 2021. We are going to quickly do some introductions and turn our cameras off and stuff because you don't need to see us now. Obviously, I have introduced myself, convener of the PSA lead team, have been heavily involved in the activities that have led up to this presentation and the work that has been done between PSA and MSD, and Lauren, who has introduced herself as well. So, the purpose of this meeting is to remind you about previous meetings. So we had the pre-bargaining sessions in August, September, and the pre-bargaining sessions in December last year. And as an outcome of bargaining in 2018 for both National Office Collective Agreement and the Service Delivery Collective Agreement between PSA and MSD, was a work program to redesign the remuneration framework. The proposal that we're going to talk about today is made up of two frameworks. One is a capability and development framework known as Te Arapiki, which is translated to as Pathway Ahead, and a pay framework. And the other thing that we will be talking about is the transition plan to get from where we are today to the future state of our remuneration framework. The work has actually been completed. It did take longer than we intended, than any of us even predicted it could take, and there have been some bumps along the way to get to this point. The system will be implemented if it is voted on by both groups of PSA members in MSD, that's Service Delivery and National Office Ministry of Youth Development. The vote will occur immediately prior to bargaining. That means that as soon as this is done, we will go straight into the bargaining process. This presentation will be explaining the system, how it will work, and also how the vote process will work. So, as noted, we've got the two frameworks and the transition plan to cover. A brief recap of where we came from and why we took it into bargaining in 2018 is that the remuneration ranges for service delivery are too low, and for National Office, the position and range doesn't really mean anything. The proposed framework takes the 40 current pay bands across those two collective agreements down to 8, and it provides for step-based progression throughout your band. The new system is designed to encourage fair recognition of our people. It's simple, flexible, and transparent, supports the direction of our organisation, and is affordable, evidence-based, and consistent.
If agreed, the framework will apply to all staff in roles under coverage of the National Office and Service Delivery Collective Agreements, but only PSA members get to have a vote in the ratification process. There's a separate piece of work planned for later in the year around a pay and progression system for the Manager and Senior Specialists Collective Agreement.
The PSA lead team has recommended that our members accept this proposal, because we believe it is a solid basis for a good system, whilst improvements and band increases can continue to be made in future bargaining, particularly in light of current pay restraint economic uncertainty. This is a good system and it's a good place to start from. The voting period will run from the 8th of March through to the 19th of March. It will be done by an electronic vote, which you individually will be sent a link to be able to vote. What we need you to do is to make sure that we have your correct details in My PSA and to get your colleagues to join PSA. Now is a really good time to join. If they've been thinking about it for a while and haven't quite signed up, get them to do so. It means they get to have their say. And also, just again, reminding you that we are going straight into bargaining after this process has been completed.